guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, I'm Bria. I'm so happy that you decided to join us. Today we're going to be doing a New Year's reset, but not cleaning, not resetting our physical space. We're going to be resetting our mindset and preparing for our goals for the new year, and also we're going to be reflecting on last year's goals, seeing what we could do better. So let's get into it. In order to set your goals for the new year, you have to look back at your past year, see what you did, look at your past goals, see what you completed, what didn't work out for you, what did you change. So let's look at my vision board from last year. I'll put it somewhere on the screen for you guys to see. So last year's vision board, well, honestly, what happened last year at the very beginning of the year, I became single on January 3rd. So I really started out my year single, freshly single after 2 years. And so my vision board this year felt really personal. I wanted to prioritize my hobbies. So on here I have painting and writing and pottery, spending alone time, getting back into my plants. I wanted to start vlogging. That did happen this year. I wanted to switch. I got that for Christmas last year, so I got a Switch. I also upgraded my electronics, and that was on there. I got a new computer, all of that. And I started gaming. I wanted to go on more hikes. Now, I did not go on a lot of hikes this year, which is kind of sad because I live in Arizona. Like, there's pretty hikes everywhere, but I needed hiking boots. But I got hiking boots, and I did go on about 3 hikes after I got my boots. I wanted to focus on community and eating better, and I did start eating better. High protein meals, prioritizing. I started meal prepping, started making a lot of things from scratch. That was fun. I want to go on road trips. I did go on road trips. I wanted a new job. I did not get a new job, but I did quit my job. So then saving money, that didn't, I was saving money at the beginning of the year, but it didn't really pan out too well after I quit my job. But one of the main things on here that I knew I wanted to focus on was strengthening my faith and going back into my faith with God. And I really did that. I did that so passionately this year. And I just can only hope to continue to go at it with so much as much as passion as I did last year this year. Also, I found on my phone some goals that I had wrote down. I don't think that I really wrote down a lot of my goals last year. I think I really just put them all on my vision board visually. So that's also why my vision board is so cluttered last year. But I like it like this because this is how I think. I think your vision board should reflect how you think. If you're a person who can juggle a lot of things in your mind, then you should make your vision board look like that. It's your organized chaos. If you're a person who doesn't do very well with a lot of things and you have fewer pictures and they're bigger and they're more focused and honed in, do that. There's nothing wrong. Make your vision board in a way that is customized to how you think. But I also wrote down that I wanted to stretch daily. That didn't happen. I wanted to read 3 self-care books. The ones I picked out was Atomic Habits, Psychology of Money, and The Subconscious Mind. I did not read Atomic Habits, and I did not read Subconscious Mind. I did read Psychology of Money. I also read The Let Them Theory, and I also read this book called Keep It Shut. And I think I read a couple of other nonfiction books. I wanted to save a certain amount of money this year. It didn't happen, but it's okay. God provided. I wanted to make seasonal vision boards and goals. This I did do. I wanted to work out 3 days a week, and I did do this. I got a personal trainer, and I did work out 3 days a week, and then I lost my job, and I could not afford my personal trainer, so I didn't continue with it. But I have a renewed mind, and I think that I don't need to depend on a personal trainer in order to be consistent in the gym. I wanted to do 2 small road trips and 1 big road trip. I did 2 small road trips this year, both to Sedona. I wanted to start making book content this year. I posted 1 video, so we're only going up from here. And I wanted to read 35 books. I have currently read, on New Year's Eve, right now, I have currently read 40 books. So the next thing that we're going to do is kind of new to me because I don't typically do a journal prompt before I start my planning, but I really just thoroughly want to reflect back on my year. So the journal prompts I want to do, and you guys can do them with me as well, is I want to ask myself what actually drained me this year. Like being just so honest with myself. Like what are the things that I did last year that drained me and didn't have to drain me? I also want to ask myself what values do I want to prioritize in the next year. And this isn't just like priorities, like what values you want to prioritize. Like these are the values you want to prioritize and how do you want them to reflect back into your life. Like what things are you going to start prioritizing that you are going to be able to look at things that you did last year, and because it doesn't align with your priorities, you will no longer partake in. And then what words, phrases, and Bible verses do I want to guide me in the upcoming year? Which is self-explanatory. What actually drained me this year was allowing myself to be too available to everybody. I would prioritize hanging out with friends and doing stuff for other people over prioritizing the routines that I know kept me mentally and spiritually grounded. So that's something that I really want to be mindful of this coming year. The values that I want to prioritize into this year is my faith. And my faith is going to keep me out of rooms that I would like to go into. But my faith is also going to put me into rooms that I never believed that I could be in. So just buckling down and really making sure that my faith is a priority in how I conduct myself this year. In words, phrases, and Bible verses I want to guide me this year, I haven't quite discovered the verses quite yet. My favorite verse is Psalms 139, the entire passage. Yes, it is my favorite. So I will always remind myself of those things as well. But words, a couple months ago, I received a couple of words that I really do think have been a part of the season I'm in, which is to create, to receive, and to believe. Okay, now that we reflected on our year, asked ourselves what drained us, what values we want, what are going to be our mantras of the next year, let's get into our goal setting. And before we get into goal setting, I wanted to share a couple of tips with you guys that I've developed over the years and that I think really helped me reach my goals. And so the first one is setting realistic goals. Like, this might sound like dumb, but no, seriously, setting realistic goals. It starts with small changes. You're not going to become the person you want to be overnight. You can't have these high expectations for yourself that you're going to go from a person who doesn't work out, not at all, to a person that's working out almost every single day of the week. That's not a realistic goal. Now, yes, some people do this, but that's not realistic for everybody. Starting small, even with your workouts. If you want to start going to the gym more, you're not going to go to the gym and hit an hour every single day. That's not realistic. You're going to bring yourself out and you're going to stop. You have to start small, because smaller habits, the longer the process is to create your habit, the longer that habit is going to stick around. Those are often concepts that aren't broken down into systems and routines. And I say this because people are like, and I'm going to use working out because like that's just the main goal that most people have in the new year. But most people are like, oh, I want to work out. And they're like, okay, yeah, I want to work out. And like, that's it. They're like, and then it hits the next year. And they're like, oh, I never started working out. That's because you need to break it down into like a system. I'm going to work out and I'll share with you guys, just jump ahead and share with you guys how I broke down my working out process for it will go this year. So I'm going to work out 3 times a week. My first day, I want to do light cardio and I'm going to do 12, 3, 30, but I changed it to fit what I needed, having a realistic goal for myself. So instead of starting off with an incline of 12, I'm going to start off with an incline of 3. I'm not going to go at a speed of 3, I'm going to go at a speed of 2, but I'm still going to go for 30 minutes. And then I also want this day to involve light weightlifting. So focusing on my arms and my back, but not exceeding a weight more than 10 pounds. On day 2, I would like to do a 30-minute Pilates video on YouTube. On day 3, light cardio, back to 3 to 30, and I want to do leg day, squats, all that good stuff. And then I'm thinking that some days, like instead of doing day 3 as like cardio and legs, like maybe that's an outside day. Maybe that's like going on a walk, maybe that's going on a hike. I just want it to be more conducive to my lifestyle and also let my workouts meet my energy levels. One key thing that I have found very helpful is knowing, like reflecting back on the things that stopped me from achieving my goals. Whether that was like mindset, process, like some things that are irritating. Like if you want to start meal prepping, but you don't like grocery shopping, maybe you should start ordering your groceries. Maybe you should start getting your groceries delivered. Or if you want to start journaling, but you dread getting out of the bed in the morning to get your journal in the living room, then start putting your journal next to your bed. Like think about the steps in the process of things that you want to do that make you not want to do it and counteract it. You don't want to pray in the morning, or you want to get up and you want to scroll on your phone instead of praying. Leave your phone in the other room. Sleep with your Bible next to you. Like there's things that you can do, like little things. And I think I picked up this tip while I was reading the beginnings of Atomic Habit. I've yet to finish the book, but I have picked up little things here and there while reading it. Also, you can use things that you value to get you to do things that you don't want to do. And I say this because, like I was telling you guys, that last year I got a trainer. And I got this trainer for 2 reasons. Because I knew that my issue with working out was just staying consistent, and I didn't have anyone to keep me accountable. And so it was like, I really value my dollar. And so if I pay for a trainer, I will use the trainer because I don't want to waste my money. And then after that, I'm also paying for someone to keep me consistent. And so while I was paying for him, and he helped me stay on top of my goals, he worked and collaborated with me. It was great while it lasted. And so I used one of the things that I value in order to do something that I didn't have the discipline to do for myself yet. Let's get into the vision board. That's the fun part. And one tip before we start, just like I started out with the goals, it's very important to keep these pictures that you're putting on your vision board as realistic as possible, because whether you want to or not, you will be comparing yourself to these pictures. So you want these pictures to look like you, hair-wise, body-wise, skin-wise. Like, you want it to be a reflection of you, not a reflection of somebody that you admire. And one tip that has really been helping me for the past couple of years is making my vision board my screensaver in my phone year round. It doesn't change. And so sometimes if you do want to change it, you can make it your home screen, or you can make it your lock screen, but it has to be one of those year round. And it's also my screensaver on my computer. That way I'm constantly seeing it, whether you're like actively looking at it and checking things off, or you're just like subconsciously like looking at it, making sure that you're checking off these things throughout the year. As we're going through my vision board and I'm showing you guys how I went and created it, I wanted to tell you guys my goals for the year. So I broke my goals down into sections, being physical and food, relationships, money, work, appearance, and hobbies. So in my physical and food, I already shared with you guys what my workout regimen was going to be this year. I also want to track calories, focus on low sugar and high protein meals, and increasing my fruit in breakfast and vegetables in lunch and dinner. In my relationships, I want to focus on continuing my daily bread with God. I want to increase my time in prayer, and I want to steward my long distance friendships better. Because I realize I have a community I've forgotten about, and if I reach out more often to them and things, then that will really counteract like feeling distant from my long distance friends. For work, I want to post on YouTube weekly and begin doing short form and posting on TikTok and YouTube. I also am planning on releasing a blog this year, so figuring that out. And I also plan on reopening my body care business this year as well. For money, I want to decrease the amount of consumption I have. I want to decrease the amount of books I buy this year. I want to utilize my Kindle Unlimited subscription, Libby, and the library much more than I already do. I want to be mindful of my impulse buying. I'm not buying any more mugs this year, guys. If you see me buy mugs, tell me to stop, okay? I want to cancel subscriptions I'm not using. I want to create budgets and stick to them and stop overspending. For parents, these are things that I feel that I'm lacking in, and I feel that these would be an increase to my quality of life, which would be buying more clothes, but sustainably. I really want to start thrifting more, not buying quick fashion necessarily, but just being more like intentional about the items of clothes that I'm buying. I also want to buy more shoes because I really am lacking in the shoe department. I don't have a lot of shoes at all, and I want to do better about that. I want to create a skincare routine. I want to create a body routine, a hair routine. So that, because my goal this year is to really get my hair super long, and that comes with deep conditioning, double shampooing, weekly washes, low tension styles. With my body care routine, I want to do dry brushing twice a week, antibacterial soap, moisturizing soap, body butter, body oil. So guys, this is my final vision board right here. I'm very proud of it. It's a lot more honed in this year than it was last year, which I think just goes to my personal growth that I had this year. 2025 was definitely a year of change. There was a lot of change involved, a lot of maturing involved, and it was one of my hardest years yet, but it was also one of the best years I've had this far. And I'm really excited that this year is not a year that I'm going into it like trying to change everything about myself, but in fact going into this year just continuing the things that I've already established this year. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see where we go into the new year. Bye!